guys, we're on another day of our shed build.
And if this is your first time watching, welcome. We really appreciate it. Just to catch you up, we've been working on a 2-story Japanese-style shed for about the past month.
Yep, and actually we've had a couple of neighbors come by and ask us if we're building an accessory dwelling unit or an ADU, and we've had to say, no, it's just a shed.
Right. It looks like a tiny house, but it's only really about half the size of one.
I think I've had a couple of people ask, guess the square footage, and they guess, quadruple the size it actually is. I'm like, no.
So the base level, it's only 140 square feet. It's a 10 by 14, but it does have 2 stories. And so that's what we've been working on. We are not running power to it. We're running plumbing to it. It is just a shed for us to put the utility and storage in it.
Yep. And it is a Japanese style because we thought that might fit well with our Japanese garden type styling, Japanese maples and conifers, and we thought it might work well.
It fits in. Well, we have 2 Japanese maples even right here that frame it really, really well. So it already is starting to feel like it fits in the landscape, which I'm really happy about. So last time we were able to get siding on the side of the house. On 3 sides. So that is, what kind of siding was it again?
Project board.
That's right.
Project board.
It was
Project
LP Smart Side Project Board, which is a 4x8 panel, 4 foot by 8 foot panel.
Well, LP, it's not the smart part.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. It doesn't give you any shear strength. So we already had OSB on there from before. And so we put on that, and now our job is to paint it. So we need to decide what color paint we want.
Mm-hmm. We have a couple of samples from our house from before. So we have I think 3 samples that we're going to paint on the building to see what we like. We're kind of leaning one way, but we'll see how it goes.
So once we decide that, we can put a coat of paint on it. Again, we already have the paint, so it's free. It's better than going and buying paint if you already got it. So we got to paint that on, and we can always put on another coat if we decide we don't like the color. Speaking of free, we also have cement fiber siding that we had from a previous project from years ago.
Yeah, it's actually a nicer material technically than what we put on the front of the building, but it's just a different look.
It's a lap siding. It would give the shed a different feel. But the main thing is it's free, and we have it. So we're putting that on the back of the shed. The back of the shed is facing the woods and our, backyard neighbors that we can barely see. So the only people that are going to see it are them. We'll make it look good for them, but from our yard, anywhere in the garden, you're not going to be able to see the back of it. Anyway, okay, so that's a lot to do.
Yeah, it is.
So we better get going.
All right. So what is it that you have here?
Cement fiber siding. This is the corner board. This is our 6-inch piece. Normally we'd use 4-inch for this, but this is what we have, so that's what I'm going to use. I've got to go get the nail gun for this. If I remember right, we used to use the nailer that goes, pump, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Right?
Which one is that called?
I don't know. It is the one that gives it. That's the exact sound it makes. Yeah.
So we have 6-inch because this is what we used on our house.
I have no clue. I think it was clearance, honestly. I think we got these for like $5 a piece when they should have been 30.
Who knows what?
I remember that it was a good deal, and that's why I have it. I think I even remember needing 4-inch, but it was this was on clearance and it's so much cheaper.
Do we have more of these?
Yes, we have 6 more, so I only need 1.5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Should be So, but I need your help installing these. They're super heavy.
Oh yeah, totally. I remember that from before.
Yeah,
for sure.
At
At least we're not way up in the air this time installing
them. I'm stronger now. I remember these being heavier than it currently is to me.
Well, good then. Yeah. All right. So I think I found your secret stash.
You have known about this secret stash for a while.
I know. I helped.
We have had this here for quite a while, so it's time to get it done. I don't know. I bet. Watch us use 10 boards here, and we still have most stuff.
According to my calculations, we're not going to use all of them, but I think it's a good idea to use these for a shed rather than a house because they've been sitting here for 4 years.
Yeah,
that can't be good for them.
No, they're fine. They're perfectly fine. There's spiders in it, so they're gonna be spiders. So you got to be careful of that.
Spiders?
Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't found them this morning, but I found them before.
Okay. All right. Well.
And I'm using not the top ones. Because the top ones do have a little bit of mold on them, so I'm using other ones rather than the top. I'm using the next ones down. There's just some more.
Or leftover from Mom's shed. Those are the white ones are hardy.
We have white ones?
Those right there. The grayish.
Oh, this one? Yeah, that one actually looks worse than these, doesn't it?
Yeah. So that's Hardy, and these ones that we've already painted are.
Well, I'm going to use the Allura because
Yeah, we only
I
have.
guess it doesn't matter because who cares? You're not going to see it.
The same is different.
Not going to see it.
It's true.
All right, I'm going.
Let's just go with all the Allure.
This is heavy.
Okay. And then here's the rest of those.
Okay, so one of the first things I want to do, because I'm working with cement fiber, is change over to a cement fiber blade. So this is 7 1/4. Should be correct to the saw.
I don't know how often y'all change saw blades. It's never fun.
A lot of saws will have an Allen wrench in the saw itself somewhere. Make sure you take out the battery so that you can't accidentally chop off your finger. And then, I don't know how other people do it. I just kind of turn the blade. There's a little lever here.
Got the lever.
What I usually do too is I try to make a note of which way the blade is going. So when I change it out, it's still going that same direction. Sometimes they'll have an arrow on it, but this one, it's already, the arrow's off, it has been worn off. There we go. Changed blade. That should do it. Now we have a cement fiber blade. Here, I'll try to make it so y'all can see it, but it has very few teeth, and it has a whole lot of, I don't know, I guess that's to cool the blade. And then I have a 4 amp hour battery to make sure it has plenty of power. I should only have to use this just when I'm cutting these pieces here. I shouldn't actually have to use it for all the rest of the cuts, except for when I get up to the diagonals. When I get up to the diagonals, I'll have to do that as well.
I think we figured out why we didn't like using this gun for this purpose. And that's because this apparently happens.
Yeah, I have forgotten.
So,
It's too big of nails for going through.
yeah.
Luckily, this is the back side.
Oh, yeah, this is fine. But that was a good reminder. We were like, I like how we were like, there was a reason why we used a different nail gun. We couldn't quite remember.
So, okay, I will go get, I guess what it's called, the Brad nailer. I don't really know what it's called, and I'll go get it. Because we have to get the rest installed. Look, it almost goes all the way up.
Yeah, I know. That's nice to put just an itty bitty piece up there that probably has to have an angle. So. Yeah, those don't look good.
So this is the finish nailer. I'm using 2-inch finish nails that I just happen to have. Hopefully it's enough. Then I have not used this in so long. There. That I have forgotten. Okay. Finish nailer.
No, I
Okay. So this is apparently, I had forgotten why you don't use the siding nailer on this, guys. The siding nailer works great on the regular siding. On the corner boards, though, they're too thick. They're like just the nails. I mean, this is what happens. So luckily, this is on the back side. Nobody's going to see it. I might even just nip these off and just nail the middle a little bit so they're flush. I think that's the easiest thing, because I think pulling them out, you're going to end up damaging it. Here goes the finish nailer. This is hopefully better. Nope.
what is going on?
I don't think I can make this any more powerful, right?
We have successfully nailed these in the past somehow. We did somehow.
Not that way.
How's that 4-hour amp hour battery? How's the power on it?
Full? So that's it.
Well, that's just going to be dangling there for...
I mean, I can pre-drill it. That's my only other option, so I'm going to pre-drill.
Okay, so attempt number 3.
Attempt number 3 of this. This is when you know you're doing it yourself. It's all DIY is when you run into stuff like this. The funny thing is the first 2 went in fine at the bottom. I mean, they're fine.
Where are they?
They're down there. Maybe they hit nothing. Maybe that's why. Maybe
Yeah,
all of these hit nails inside of there. Maybe that's...
Okay.
All right. So now I'm going to make a drill. And I didn't want to change out the drill bit, so I'm using an impact driver that has has this kind of bit. You can just put it there. It's all sorts of wrong. All right. I'm going to try this.
Wait, is that even the right size bit? For the nails that you've got?
I'm turning on the compressor for a second, letting it charge up. So again, I just want to make sure to emphasize that dust that was coming off of it, that's what you don't want to breathe in. So I don't have a P100 mask right now. I'll go get it if it seems like it's coming my way though, because I don't want to breathe that stuff in. Man, look at this. This is terrible.
That's excellent.
And the thing is, you can't, like, if you try to pull them out, you break the board. And if you try to nail them in, it just looks terrible. So I'm going to nip them all off, I think.
Okay.
I'll put on my glasses. All right.
There you go.
Okay. And then can I even line this up? Like, that's the real question here, too.
Yeah.
Ah!
Success.
Yeah, we should have on a P100 mask. That's a little bit too much.
Yep.
All right, well, here we go. Let's see if I can do it. Ha. Ha. You think the pros already know this?
We weren't having this problem before, so I don't know.
It could be that we have too low a power of a compressor. It could honestly, that's quiet compressor isn't known for power.
When it's like a 2-gallon.
Yeah, but it says it's 125 psi, so it should be fine. So let's review really fast. If you're installing a corner board, a split fiber, what have we learned? It's a today I learned thing. The siding nailer on its own doesn't work. The finish nailer doesn't work. But if you pre-drill the holes, it works just fine. So that's now what I get to go with. But luckily, I only have to do 2 of these. It's not a big deal.
Yep. It's not the whole building.
Okay, this is the P100 mask. It's hard to hear me through it, but it is important. If you haven't used the P100 mask before, it is easier to breathe through than some N95 masks. It's really not that bad.
Okay, so what I was trying to say, so this is a P100 mask. It comes off easily like this. I'll be sure to link in the description an actual link to this exact one. It's the half face. It's silicone, so it's antibacterial. I really like it. And then there's different filters that you can get for it. All of them will work for something like this. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is decide what color to actually paint the shed, which is a pretty big decision.
Yeah. So initial design was white with the natural cedar.
Right. So what happened to white? So we have the white color. We could see it from the street when we had just the house wrap on.
Like super obvious.
It was really bright. You see it from everywhere driving around the neighborhood. Let's not do white.
Yeah. Yeah. Like dark colors will recede into the background and be less noticeable. I mean, we don't need it to be like, here I am.
Well, and they're probably wondering what these boards are about. So this is the cedar, and this is burnt wood. This is yakisugi or shosugibon, depending on who's saying it. Mm-hmm. So this is actually pine here, but it still gives a representation of the coloring. Whereas the cedar is, it's cedar colored. It's not by the way, this is not a Western red cedar, so it's not as red as you would have otherwise. Like
this is whatever a cedar fence picket is.
Right. Like when you think of at least our local lumber supply place, so they call it aromatic cedar. Mm-hmm. That's what you think of for the red cedar. Yeah. So this is kind of like more of a blonde cedar, but it still looks really nice. And with the tongue oil on it, it'll look great.
And also, this is a plain side, so it's nice and smooth.
Yeah.
Whereas the original side is this rough side. But we're gonna plane them and make them look like this.
Okay. So
back to colors.
We need to decide on what color to make this. So we have 3 options. We have onyx, sealskin, and tricorn black.
Honestly, the tricorn black and the onyx look almost identical. It's just the onyx is just a little softer, and I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah, it's not quite as dark.
Yeah,
it's 10% lighter or 2% lighter. It's more gray than black though. I think, or it's more gray than tricorn black is black.
Yeah.
So the onyx is really nice. The sealskin is kind of a brown gray when you really look at it. In the shade, it'll look kind of a cool gray color, like as cool as in blue tones, not as in.
That's cool. Great. But it's the sealskin is it has a little brown undertones. That way, it definitely does not lean blue gray for sure.
Right.
Which is we don't want a blue gray.
I'd be okay with blue gray. So
Anyway,
so the real option is what are we thinking? I did do a little poll. I did a little YouTube short. If you guys aren't watching our YouTube shorts, they're just little little things. I prefer this longer format, but don't tell all the people watching our shorts.
okay. So what are the shorts so the people watch?
So it was a mixture. Everybody I think Onyx got the most votes. Sealskin got a lot of votes. Nobody liked Tricorn Black.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess Tricorn Black's out.
It's out. I was already thinking it was out anyway. It looked a little bit too black. It's good for the trim, but it's not good for that. And we've thought about doing Yakisugi for the trim, right?
Yeah, so I'm concerned that if we do like the Yakisugi, the Onyx will be just too matchy. And the Onyx and the cedar look nice. The sealskin and this looks nice. The sealskin and that looks nice. So I'm still up for
By the way, I should just tell y'all, Yakisugi, that literally means what, like burnt cedar? Sugi is cedar in Japanese.
Mhm.
I'm guessing burnt cedar. Shosugiban is literally translates.
like yakitori.
Sure. Anyway, so so what are we going to decide?
Oh, I don't know what we're deciding yet. I was just telling them what things we would have to decide about.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right, so we should look at it?
We should look at it.
Okay, we're going to look at
Good.
it. All right, we'll go look at it.
Stare at it.
All right, hold on.
I'm looking at it.
I know you're looking at it. So the Onyx.
The Onyx, nice with the cedar, but like the Yakisugi is same.
So the Onyx looks nice with the cedar, definitely. Like, I think that's a great combo.
Okay.
The Yakisugi or Shosugiban looks okay with it. So the burned wood is a little bit gray.
Yeah, so I just don't. Maybe Onyx, and then we have the natural cedar colored bottom portion,
Yeah.
and all the seams, the parts that cover the seams in the cedar, the Yakisugi cedar. So it's kind of like tone.
Maybe I almost think maybe just the cedar on the seams, the regular cedar without it being burned.
So that's the plan. Paint it with the leftover Onyx paint that we have. Yeah, the skin could come across as. Because a weird thing is that like here it looks kind of brownish.
Yeah.
But over there on the house, it's totally a neutral medium gray color.
That's sealskin that we're looking at.
That's sealskin on the house over there, which is really weird.
Okay, so we were just looking at it, talking back and forth, and we decided, Rebel, what do you decide? Onyx.
I kind of like the sealskin a little bit still. But
What?
I don't know.
But you just said Onyx.
I know.
Okay.
Well, we're going to paint it with the Onyx and see how
That we have for free. We have plenty of it. The problem with the Onyx,
for free. It's leftover from before.
it's free if we're not paying for it now.
Okay.
So the problem that we have with the Onyx is that it is shiny. It's a satin finish instead of a matte. We tend to just prefer the matte. I know satin lasts longer as an exterior finish. I understand that. That's why we got it, and it looks bad. So it's too
We
shiny.
even painted the front of our house in it, and that's why we have like some leftovers. We painted the front of the house, looked at it, and we're like, oh no. It looked like our house had caught on fire in a bad way, not in the Yakisugi kind of way.
Yeah.
So like that's when we like,
When it looks more burnt than burnt wood, you got a problem.
yeah, like
Uh,
shiny in that kind of way. So not good.
So we're going to go with the Onyx. You're going to paint it. While you paint it, I'm going to do the siding, and that's about it. We still haven't decided for the cedar if we're going to do natural cedar or Yakisugi. We don't know.
But I think that
stick around with us. We'll figure it out.
Onyx looks good with that. So we'll
Yeah.
still more.
I'll do a quick short as well and ask everybody what they think. If they think that we should do the Yakisugi or if the natural cedar. But I don't know. I think it'd look good with natural.
All right, well, let's get to painting.
All right, let's go.
All right. Okay, so painting time, but I only have an hour, so I'm just going to cut in against the top with the paintbrush for now and see how far I get. That way I don't have to get a whole paint roller wet and then just store it for a couple of days until I can use it again several days from now, because it's going to start raining tomorrow and the next day and maybe the next day. Anyway, so just going to cut in with the paintbrush for now, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so I'm up here painting the siding, and then I got a better look at the bird blocks that I touched up, and it looks like I picked the wrong color. I was really sure it was the tricorn black because I did a color test on a scrap piece and it looked like it matched better, but clearly this is wrong. The paint can I was suspicious about because the paint can I had used was sitting separately than the rest of the paint, and that was the onyx stain. You really can't tell from below, but I'll get down below and stare at it a bit more to see if you can see. But up here it looks really splotchy because it is two different colors, and that is the difference between the onyx and the tricorn black stain. So that lighter color is the onyx, the darker is the tricorn black that I came back and did a little touch up with. All right, I think I've got everything I need. Time for rolling. There again. How did it look?
Yeah. Yeah.
Look at how different the angle of the building makes the color. I think it might be the reflection from the blue sky. That is the exact same color on the front of the building as it is on the right side of the building. That is so crazy. Yeah, the green is reflecting off the right side of the building, and the sky is reflecting off the front.
Hey, so this is an extra piece we had. It's not quite the same thickness as the other, it's a little thinner, which might be how I remembered that the nails would go through it before. That one's thicker. But I didn't want to get a whole new 12-foot piece out just for these top scrap pieces. So what I'm doing is I cut the piece at the bottom flat just so it's a nice clean edge. And then I am doing a 2 and 12 pitch at the top. I've already measured the distances. And so now I'm just going to cut this. We'll paint the top and bottom. And then I should be able to install it. And hopefully this won't be so ugly after we put some paint on it. This is a mixture of Holland and all sorts of junk over the years. Just to make sure I really do emphasize this, if you're cutting cement fiber with a blade like I'm about to do with the circular saw, you really do want to have on a basket like this. I just thought I'd say I am still pre-drilling, even though this is the thinner piece.
Still stay on the safe side of pre-drilling.
Nobody's gonna see this.
I can't see past the edges.
Okay, I'll tell you. It looks good. At least the bottom part.
Ah,
Done?
It does go through this one.
Oh,
Go through that one.
I see.
I just wanted to show like what I'm doing with this mess. So here's the mess, and all I'm doing is just like nipping off the ends here.
Hey, so what do you think about this?
I think it looks good.
What do you think about this color versus the kind of lighter charcoal?
Oh, definitely this color.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I may have gone even to the tricorn black color personally, but I think it would probably read too like barn if it was tricorn.
Yeah. And I was noticing actually yesterday when the light was hitting it just right that the front of the building read more blue-gray.
Yeah.
Because it was the light from the sky was bouncing off of it. And then the side, because all the greenery from the forest area was bouncing off that side, the side kind of looked green. I mean,
Well, and I see it right now. It does look a little blue-gray right now.
Yeah.
It's definitely more blue-toned than, well, maybe on the right side it does look more warm-toned, and on the left side it looks more blue-toned.
Yeah.
So you're right.
Really interesting. I mean, that's why you paint samples in real life, is to get the real color.
Well, and I like that the Japanese maple leaves like come over it and it's like the dark background.
Yeah.
Like I always prefer that. At least for a light colored Japanese maple.
Yeah, it's nice to have a backdrop for the trees, for sure. And the sheen doesn't seem to bother me that much.
No, it's not nearly as shiny as I thought it would be. I thought it was gonna be terrible. Honestly, I'm glad that we're able to use that paint and not have to have it like go get more.
Well, I'm pretty happy with this color.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. That's it for today. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.